Hey, what's up again, everybody? It's Robert, 184, 2 R's, 2 B's, gundamreviews.net. And Say and Rage are around because it's Monday, and even though there's some serious business going on here, it's always fun to take a break and go watch an anime about what I'm doing right now. Instead of building Gunpla, let's go watch the build fighters who both get to have the fun of building it and fighting them. And boy, what a fun fantasy world that would be to be in. And don't forget to head over to gundam.tk, which is gundamreviews.net, and you can vote whether you like this episode and vote on all the Gunpla there on the front page or in the posts as well. For the quick recap of the episode with the odd MS cameo thrown in, as boy were there a lot for this battle royale. Well, the Camphor Amazing is going to be replacing the Zaku Amazing there. The Zagok is sad, as he also is in Gundam Age, that he actually didn't get his high-grade kit. But he was taking on Harrison's F91, which is on sale at the end of the month. We got to see a ground Gundam with a gym head, and most importantly, Rambaral saying, "Wow, Meijin Kawaguchi, perhaps this is going to be fate." And of course, that's setting up all sorts of things between the masked man and the regular protagonist. Kawaguchi is praised to the nines, definitely made by some Gunpla builders there. And we get to see Alan Adams. He's one of my favorite speaking styles, the PPSC guy, who's getting the new Kawaguchi ready. We also get to see Ira and Reiji meet again as they're hiding from Team Nemesis. And of course, it all comes down to some Nikuman as Rage gets in there and says, "Boy, it smells good." No, he's not talking about her, despite what you might think at the very beginning. But you know that it's love as the series goes on. We get to see the star build with the Mao taking on some bad guys from Victory. The shield features of both with the shield buster and everything are going to be showing off. And then, who was there? Blue Frame, we got to see the Black Tri-Stars. Were they in Seed Destiny? I only watched the show once, but it's the kind of thing you want to freeze frame it. And we got to see, what was it, Captain Harrison from Star Trek 11, just absolutely decimating them. And by that I mean Meijin Kawaguchi in his new Camphor Amazing, taking him down con style. Heavy Arms Kai, the Cubely Papillon, Ira in battle. A motorbike, if you've got wings, why do you need one? Taking on a Zaku tank, why does it need treads? Well, why not? But the focus at the later part of the battle was going to be on Riccardo, he of the Italian champions, and the hitting on people with a high-grade Victory Gundam, probably the coolest move in the book there. We got to get that on How I Met Your Mother. And what is he going to meet? A giant Gao. And at the very beginning I said, what? We've got SD kits, we've got large-size vehicles. It seems like anything can go in terms of size and scale, and who cares, because it's all for funny. As Garma is evoked, as we get some final revenge. Why? Because, of course, Riccardo went out and had stolen his girlfriend. And then what do? They open up the hangar doors and some incredible MSs in there. You get to see a Green Epion, a Turn-A Bandit. We get to see Ashatron, Versago. And there's a whole platoon of just people who are angry that he stole their girls. Laughs to be had by all, and some incredible MSs which keep all the focus. And then we're introduced to the CEO, who's going to come in and spill his wine in front of his lovely assistant there. And he cannot believe his eyes, because he says, "What in the world is that boy Reiji doing in our world?" Cut to the ED there. And then all of a sudden, they're going to come back. They're going to wrap up the Gao story. And what do we need? From the heavens, from the moon, we get a microwave shot to the head from the satellite cannon, the hyper satellite cannon, as it's revealed to be Mao, and definite team building going on there between the Wing Fenice, the Gundam X Mao, and the Star build. There's going to be some good stuff to come, and in the very end, you had to wonder if they were going to go there, but with SD and vehicles, well, why not go full-on Gundam Breaker, as what was that, mega-size model, or even bigger, albeit in green. For Character of the Week, there's definitely a lot of fun ones out there. I already said I like Alan Adams from PPSC. Meijin Kawaguchi had his moments out there, deadly serious. We got to see a little bit of Tina-chan and the mom at home watching, but for me, I'm going to have to go with Riccardo. He was just hilarious this episode, and I'm going to give the runner-up to the poor guy who was a German from in the pilot of the Gao, coming for revenge. You think of Char, you think of Garma, you think of all of this deep history, and families wiping out families for political gain and empire building. And instead, you just have a man with the help of a high-grade Victory Gundam who has definitely had some bad influence on 7 different men's girlfriends, and they're all out for revenge. But Riccardo Mao, this looks like the shape of a good team to come. And with an honorable mention here for Reiji and his relationship with Ira, it's only going to go places, and it looks like a lot of fun. Every time he just strolls in, does what he wants, has a lot of fun, and yeah, it's the kind of thing that keeps protagonists fresh. For Mobile Suit Cameo of the Week, this is one of the hardest categories, as how many did we have out there? Green, Epion, all sorts of good stuff. But for me, I've got to give this, the runner-up for me is going to be the Turn A Bandit. I'm a huge fan of almost every MS design from Turn A, unorthodox though they may be. But seeing the Bandit out in action and looking very effective up against the wing, I really like that. But ultimately, how can I say no? It's going to be a tie for my number one this week. Versago and the Ashatron there, anytime you get to see them and when they yell out Nissan to each other. Yes, even the Seiyu is apparently tired of saying it over the course of the series. But the more and more of these old classic suits that they're sending out, whether it's in jest or in deadly seriousness, I can't wait to see. I sit there, I want to have a pen, I want to freeze frame it. I wish the official website would just have a list at the end of the show that says, here's all the MSs you missed, because it's worth going back, and I'm sure they're hoping that people are going to be doing it with the Blu-ray. So which cameo did you like the best? But for the main mobile suit of the week, well, there's still a lot of choices. I'm a big fan of the Star build already. I sort of like its RXF91 vibe kind of thing. It looks like something that's out of F90 or F91 in some ways, and for me, that's a good thing. You're also going to get to see my ultimate runner-up today. I'm going to give it to the Wing. We get to see the Wing Fenice doing a very good job taking on the Bandit, taking on the Gao, taking on 7 angry ex-boyfriends. And he just did a very good job of it, and I gotta get that kit out and done here to go along with this proper one here, which is one of my favorites. But my MS of the week is going to go to the Camphor Amazing, much to the chagrin of the old Zaku 2, who has been passed over for War in the Pocket, and the Zagok, the Gelgoog, and the Rick Dome, and everybody else. But seeing it in its black colors with the cannons on the back used oh so well, and the black tri-stars there, whichever form they were in, well, they were just absolutely decimated, and, well, he looked good doing it, which is going to be leading directly in. For me, I'm sure you can already tell that one of my favorite moments is when the reveal was there with German Garma lamenting the fact that this came and then they opened up and showed us the multiple MSs. A great runner-up, but for me, at the very beginning when we got to see Reiji and Sei went running off after their former Gunpla captain and they said, wait, are you Tatsuya Yuki? Are you our old friend? Are you our senpai? And he turned to them, and he took off his Char mask and broke the cardinal rule of Gundam, although we've seen it many, many times, and he said to them, look at my face, you will know, you will see my new position, my new pride, and all will be revealed. And he just had a different hairstyle, and the glasses were up, and for me, we got to see Sei's face just saying, what is this nonsense? And you know what? It's getting us laughing, it's a lot of fun, keeps it light, and at the same time, Rambo Rao's prediction that in the future, their destinies are going to be tied together is somewhat ominous. But I can't wait to see whether these guys are going to be friends or enemies, and whether they're all just going to be a happy team at the end as they go take on the proper big bads in whatever scale it may be. Overall, for me, this was another overwhelmingly positive episode for the characters, for the humor, for the MS cameos, and for the actual battle itself. We didn't even talk about the Sengoku Astray, but it was looking good out there in battle, even though he was sort of using his brain as opposed to his brawn at the moment. But what about the fate of the Mark II? Will we ever see the build strike just with his plain old full pack on? Or is he always going to be going star from here, and how many upgrades to come? Of course, Reiji and Ira's relationship developing, and now that the CEO is going to be dropping wine on his pants at the thought that he's here on this planet is obviously leading to something big, and of course, more colony talk from beyond. But for the humor, for the characters, for the cameos, everything about this episode for me is clicking, and it clicked, and I hope that you guys enjoyed it as well. So please let me know what you think of the review, and stick around for lots more Gunpla reviews, news, and everything else you can use. Thanks for watching, everybody. See ya. Till all are one here, team.